Hi, this is Jerry for Challenge Life Better with
David.
And we would like to talk about natural remedies, and particularly a natural remedy for insomnia. Now, how many of you just can't sleep very well? I think most of us find ourselves maybe once or twice a month just couldn't sleep the whole night. It happens. Maybe it's stress at work, maybe it's a fight with your spouse, or maybe it's monetary concern. Who knows what it is? Things keep people awake, okay? We're not talking about that. We're talking about the person who, when they put their head on the pillow, instead of 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours later, they're finally falling asleep, if at all. Insomnia, classic insomnia. So, from some of our discussions before, Dave, what do you think might be something that would cause somebody not to be able to sleep?
I think just based on what I've heard from people that have insomnia is that their mind is racing a lot, that they have a lot of activity going on in their brain before they go to sleep. But that's just the people I know. I don't know if you think that that's, has some truth
Is
to it.
absolutely in the category of what I was saying a moment ago, stress-induced insomnia. What about lifestyle? What about various things that we do before we go to bed? What would
Sure. I think possibly eating a lot of processed foods or a lot of food in general could stimulate your brain and your body to the point where you might not be able to sleep.
It could. What about the time? What about when the food is consumed?
If it's probably too soon before you're going to sleep, I think that could be a significant factor compared to...
Why?
Well,
what would that do?
It's setting off your brain to process a lot of those functions in the digestion with, your stomach, your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys.
So we don't go to bed to digest our food.
Yeah, well, I've been guilty of doing it before too, but apparently it's not necessarily the best thing for normal sleep patterns and for optimal health. And it's actually something that you've actually turned me on to being more aware of. So,
well, I found out a long time ago that the old expression my grandmother had: when you go to bed on a full stomach, you end up with a rock in your stomach. And I guess that's true, because it certainly is with me. Actually, the scientific basis of that and the production of insomnia is quite common in this country, because people will eat too late, they'll eat heavy foods, and then they'll go to bed. And the result of that is that the body, when we have something called circadian rhythms, and there's times of the day when we're supposed to be doing certain things. And one of the things we need to do is when we go to bed, we need to sleep. We don't need to be processing food, because that takes a lot of energy. And if it takes a lot of energy to process the foods, of course, food gives you energy, but you have to spend a lot of energy to process it in your body to extract the energy. Now, why is that a problem with sleep? You need energy during the time that you sleep. Your heart has to race at certain points when you have REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, your eyes are closed and darting around. Your heart rate rises 20, 30, 40, 50%, quite a bit. It's almost like watching an action movie and you're at the edge of your chair and you don't know when the bad guy is going to come after somebody. You just don't know. You're apprehensive. Well, the body raises their dreams and various other things, raises the heart rate so that the body can pump blood all over the body to hydrate the body properly, because remember, all the water that you take in goes throughout the body through the bloodstream. So the fluid has to flow through the bloodstream into the cells, and that flushes into the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is a sewage system that takes out all the toxins in the body. Now, we're not talking about the bowel or the urine. This is material that is harvested from all the dead cells. It's toxins that you came in contact with during the day. Your lymph system, the little nodes that you have under your arm or various that sometimes get inflamed and hurt a little bit, those little valves, those little nodes, are backflow valves that your lymph system, it doesn't have a heart muscle to pump material through. But if you're in an inclined position and the blood pressure rises because your heart rate is rising while you're sleeping, that's going to help the lymphatic system move that lymph fluid through the body and help remove a lot of those toxins. And you wake up with this, gosh, I feel good this morning. I feel refreshed. So that's, in fact, how that works. And that contributes to reducing the amount of insomnia that you have if you give the body the time during the circadian rhythm cycle that's set aside for sleep. Because if you're interfering with that, you could very easily induce insomnia. Now, you could also do it by just being dumb. People who drink a large amount of coffee before they go to bed, that's kind of not real bright. It's not a good idea. It does two things. One, the caffeine elevates your heart rate more than just the dream state, and it's a diuretic. So in the middle of the night, you go, oh gosh, I got to go down the hall. You wake up, you got to go because it's a diuretic, and that interrupts your sleep cycle. And there are people who, once they go to the bathroom, they can't go back to bed. And especially if you're over about 45 or 50, males begin to have a lot of problem with that. And so that's my thoughts on insomnia.
Also, probably exercise might help, right?
Exercise is a good contributor to reducing the amount of insomnia because exercise is going to expand the blood vessels, the capillaries, the various parts of your body that has to do with your circulatory system just by the use of going and walking or weightlifting or doing your stair climb or whatever it is you're going to do. Anytime those capillaries and blood flow systems are enlarged, the job during the time you sleep gets easier. So exercise is extremely important. Any other ideas? Those are good ideas, by the way. You think you did a good job. I think you did a good job.
Oh, I heard chamomile tea helps with that.
That's a calming effect. You can induce some sleep-like attributes by adding calming materials. Some people, I used to, when I was in a very stressful job, I would go to sleep with a little Native American pipe music in the background, very, very low flute music, and it was very soothing. Sometimes just a little bit of European waltzes, just barely perceptible in the background, something that would just relax the mind. There's some studies done that the note C is not 440 cycles, it's 432. And 440 is not tuned to human harmonics, but 432 is. So if you listen to some music that's at 432 instead of 440 before you go to bed, you have a better chance of sleeping better during the night. And that's been proven in numerous sleep studies. So there are a number of places on the internet that are free that you can download some soothing music that's been tuned to 432 instead of 440 as C. So I highly recommend going to look at that if you're fighting insomnia. So until next time, this is Jerry.
And David.
And we have a lot of fun bringing this to you. If you have any thoughts or comments, please hit subscribe and let us know as well what you think about our series. Until next time, be well.
Be well.